In this video, we're going to learn how to change HTML content and style using JavaScript variables. So let's create a new file and call it change HTML using variables. .html, and we're going to import the source code from the previous file and change the title to change HTML using variables. Alright, we're going to start the script from scratch, so we're just going to delete everything. Alright, so now we're going to create a variable, and we want to be able to use that variable to change the styling of Facebook when we click on this button. Alright, so our variable is going to be, so let's define it using, let's give it a name, color. So we're going to define a color, and this color is going to be a string, and basically we're going to use this string to set the background color of Facebook. So let's choose, for instance, RGB 18 14968. I just mentioned that we're using RGB, we're not using RGBA because we're not looking at the opacity at all. So we only need 3 values for RGB. If you use RGBA, that's different. You're going to need the opacity value as well. So now we're going to tell the browser, when we click on this button, set the background color of Facebook to this value. So document get elements by ID button 1, and the event is on click, and we are executing the function as following. So we need to access Facebook, and we need to access the style of Facebook, and then the background color of Facebook. Okay, and we're setting that to our value color. Alright, so let's see what happens when we click on the, let's refresh first, and let's click on the button, and we can see that's the background color of Facebook changes, and it takes exactly the value of our variable color. Alright, now we're going to try something else. So we're going to create a new another variable which is going to give us a random color. So first of all, let's see how we can build a random color. So let's try something. Let's declare a value x, and we're going to use the math object here. So you're going to set x to math dot random, and let's see what we get when we window dot alert x. So let's refresh the page. So we get the value we see here. Let's refresh again. We get another value. Let's refresh again. Another one, another one, another one, etc. So basically what we're getting here are all values between 0 and 1. So the method random gives a value between 0 and 1. And what we're trying to achieve here, so in order for us to get a random color, so we want to get random values in the RGB of the color, and these values are all between 0 and 255. So let's see what happens if we multiply this random number by 256. So by the way, the value that we're getting here is between 0 and 1, and it's strictly less than 1, so it's between 0 and 1 strictly. it could be equal to 0, but it won't be equal to 1 at all. So if we multiply by 256, we are sure that we're getting a value between 0 and 256 strictly. So let's try that. So let's refresh. Okay, so you can see the values that we're getting there. But the thing is, we need a round number. Okay, so we can't accept a number like this to go in the RGBA. So we need a round number, and in order to do that, so we're going to need to use another function. So we're going to put this inside another function, which is math dot round. Okay, I'm just going to copy that. I'm going to say math dot round, and then we're going to paste our previous code there. Okay, so let's refresh the page now and see what we get. So we're getting round numbers now, and they're all between 0 and 255. Okay, so that's how we can get a random number to go in the RGB values. So now we need 3 values. So rather than declaring one variable, we're going to declare 3 variables, and we can do that in one line. So x, y, and z. Okay. And now we're going to use this code inside the function to be executed when we click on the Apple button. So let's do that. So document.get elements by ID. So we are looking at button 2. Okay. So the event is on click, and we want to execute the function as following. So first of all, we're going to need this code. So we need to generate a number for x, another one for y, and then another one for z. Okay, and then we need another variable, which is going to be Apple color, and we're going to set this variable. You're going to set it to, so let's just copy the RGBA as we see it here, just to make it simple. And now we're going to replace this by x, this by y, this by z, and then we need to add the plus signs. So we need to break here, add a plus, and then another plus here. Okay, another plus there, another one, another one there, and here we go. And then we're gonna need to set the background color of Apple to this value. Okay, so document, gonna access Apple using its ID. Okay, style, background color, and we set that to Apple color. Okay, and also we can change the content of Apple if we want to. So rather than using the style, we can use the inner HTML and change the content as well. Okay, so let's try this. To refresh, here we go. So if we click on the button, we can see that a random color is generated, and we can see that color there in RGB values. Again, we can keep trying, and every time we click on the button, the code will access the Apple div, and it will change the color of Apple, and also it will display the value of Apple color inside the div. Okay, So basically, we changed the contents directly to text. We could try to use a paragraph as well. So we can try that. Okay, let's try now. Hopefully it will work. Yes, it is working. So that's better. So we are keeping a paragraph inside the Apple div, and the Facebook button is working as well.